roses, a pocket full of posies, a tissue, we all fall down. We all fall down. Jenny hurts herself, washing her hands too much, far, far too much. They crack. I utilize driveways on my walks. We see each other approach at a distance, we stiffen. If we can take it wide, we do large circles around each other, walk on an increasingly quiet road. Sometimes one crosses to avoid me and I sing their praises. Some will blunder ever closer, and this is not a game of chicken. I do not want to win it. I lurk in driveways. If they want the right of way so badly, this diseased shining path, they are welcome to it. 4 weeks ago the nightmares began. Nightmares of the plague days. You are walking alone along a deserted street. Streets should be deserted. This is welcome. A group of teenagers appear and you try not to think of them as wild teenagers, unwelcome teenagers, feral. You walk closer and one coughs. He has a cough. You cannot veer away because this is a dream and your options are limited. You fear turning back in case you attract their attention. As you are abreast with them, head down, following all the rules, he draws back and spits in your face. For 48 hours after the dream, you stay indoors, too frightened to venture out. The suicides will fall into 3 categories. Did you hear that a woman in a supermarket started biting people in the queue? A man paid for groceries with many coins, but before handing them to cashier, he placed each one inside his mouth and then gifted it, spittle shining, to her, to capitalism. Security removed him because even capitalism has limits. Does it? But that image will stay with her for the rest of her life. Coin metal-mouthed man, pennies for teeth, grinning at her and asking her to accept his moist generosity. The first category of suicides will be the scared. 5 days ago Mavis cleared her throat and you haven't felt right since. There is a burning in your throat, your chest. It could be angina. A man walked so close to you, you said, "Please move away." He did not move away. You cannot stand this death watch, death rates. Every time you receive an online notification, it is death rates. You snap elastic bands on your wrists repeatedly. They leave marks. It is not enough. I find myself in the graveyard, needing quiet company, needing the quietest of companions. From my high vantage point I can see all around. No one can sneak up on me. A man wheels a pram up and down the hills. It is not a relaxing day out with child. He is pushing for something. He leans into the incline, head down, arms out straight in front of him. Pram as battering ram, pram as cardio aid, baby as excuse to work out this stifling indoor rage. The second category will be the lonely. Lonely does not mean what you think it means. Hundreds, thousands of people at the touch of a key, but are any of them speaking to you directly? Do they revolve around you? Did you know not everyone has internet access? You start to have trouble sleeping. The words you're not using bubble up inside you. You gasp for breath. This house air is not fresh air. You smell your own sweat. Legs are restless and jiggling. Where is the line between stimulated and overstimulated? Your eyes are open, your mind is flayed open, no one to sing it soothed and closed. There are more living, walking people here, all blessedly far apart. A small family reads inscriptions on gravestones. A couple walk hand in hand at the northeast end. I walk the smaller paths, and in this dead end of places, some of these paths are dead ends. I pick my way between gravestones respectfully. I will always walk this land respectfully, greeting those who lie underneath with a whispered song. I spent my time with the Orrs, the McMasters, the Campbells, and thoughts drift to Eyam. When we were 12 years old in school, we read of Eyam. We dipped letters written in our best calligraphy in tea and toasted them to make them the gold. We read aloud in class, and this was, we all agreed, the dullest book we had ever experienced. A dry cough of a book. Until I took it home and it lived. The characters lived until they died. In this village, this Eyam place, when the plague came, they made the only choice, the corona choice, the modern choice. The choice even then, in 1665, a pact to not leave those village boundaries until the fever raged no more. If anyone left, they would carry to others, and the spread could be limitless. So for a year it fed on them, choice cuts on a market stall, discarding some and gorging on others with seeming randomness, until the filth was buried, goiters subsided, boils lanced, fevers broken, whole families no more than carvings on stone. Today I thought of Eyam. The third category will be the NHS. Have you seen them crying on the news broadcasts? Have you clapped uselessly for them? They intubate the foaming mouths and struggling lungs close enough to bathe in the carbon dioxide you expel. The ladies of the Women's Institute gamely swap their knitting patterns for the sewing of masks, humming Jerusalem all the while. They will not sew enough. Could not possibly sew enough for all the doctors in this green and pleasant land, their feet in present time aching and raw from 14-hour shifts. They will not cease from mental fight until they do, nor shall their gloves slip from their hand, that is the last pair. I do not mention the nurses, for they have not been counted, and if they choose to leave on their own terms, they will not be counted among official statistics. Did you perhaps wait 2 weeks for your last GP appointment in 2019? You will wait longer after their numbers have been decimated. Bella tells us of conspiracy theories. We place hands or ears. To escape we must walk. We must go to still places and breathe deeply. A half-remembered jaunt from 25 years ago, a duck pond that I never found again, and I will find it. This time I do not find it. But I find a magic place. Gate nothing more than a space between posts, and I step over. Grass is long and silent. This place is thin, and as I breathe this thin air, I take note of the wildlife all around me. Mr. Squirrel, pay no mind to me. I am just a sweaty human. Mr. Squirrel, pay no mind to me. I walk deeper through what I see now as a meadow. Teens have had a bonfire here, perhaps many fires. These teens, being real, causing fires, should also cause fear, but there is no fear in this thin place. A discarded bottle cap shines up at me and screams, "Corona Extra!" Isn't it just, I say. Bottle cap, you're so right. I hear humans now. The bounce of a ball, but they are far away. Sound carries in these thin places. They are across the river, and I can stand still, actually stand still, fearing no trespassers, and stare into the moving water. This moving water, this offshoot of the river Lagan. Lagan, it has been a month since I have seen you. We have never before been separated for such a duration. I will not leave it so long again. Today I thought of Eyam, but even Eyam's siege ended. Have people before emerged from waters shining? The hands submerged endlessly are eventually cleansed and dried, soothed with hand cream and treated like princesses. A baptism of sorts. My eyes gleam. In years to come I'll celebrate tree roots, the comic crunch of acorns underfoot, and I slowly walk the path toward home.